All right, next game, New Orleans at Detroit Lions. The spread in New Orleans is only favored by 4, which is crazy. I have the Lions. I almost said I had the Lions winning. I have the Saints winning this one and covering the spread here. No surprises here, no shocks here. For the Lions, I like... This might be my sleeper of the week, honestly. I was thinking of making him my big sleeper on the fantasy show. Adrian Peterson's the lead back and has like 90% of the duties, and they say they're really going to run him, you know, against the Saints D that I guess has not protected the run quite as well. I thought they were a good run protection team in the past. Apparently they haven't yet. I'm seeing other people liking Adrian Peterson. In the research, I was really on DeAndre Swift. Like, just because he dropped one pass, I know it was to literally win the game. But, you know, it happens. He dropped one pass. It doesn't mean it erases his entire football knowledge and talent and skills. And he's not a good football player anymore. He just dropped one pass. It just happened to be a game winner. But, yeah, I like DeAndre Swift always. But Adrian Peterson, I think that run last week when he spun and everything, it looked like he was 20 years old again. Like, I like Adrian Peterson to go off here. They're giving him all the carries. They seem... I mean, he's in there most of the time, even pass downs. Like, they're giving Adrian Peterson all the run. So I'd go Adrian Peterson here, even over DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift will be great in a PPR league, but Adrian Peterson's my sleeper for the Lions. The Saints, if they get Michael Thomas back, I think he'll get right back on track. But I don't know. The Saints, like, obviously Alvin Kamara, everyone knows that. He's going to go off again. And yeah, I mean, Emmanuel Sanders is kind of getting going, but I'd stay away from him. I'd stay away from Traquan Smith. I thought might blow up this year finally, but he looks slow out there. I'm not a big fan of him anymore. Like, I thought he was going to be like a Dez Bryant, but he just looks slow, and I don't think he's going to have that breakout season people were kind of like me predicting. So the Saints, I don't have any surprises there in terms of sleepers or anything, but the Saints will cover the 4-point spread. Pick the Saints here with confidence. I know it's over the Lions. They're on a 1-game winning streak, but don't get scared. Pick the Saints with confidence to beat the Lions by more than 4. All right, next game, Arizona Cardinals at the Carolina Panthers. So, you know, I'm a big Kyler Murray fan. Picked him up with a couple of my fantasy teams. You know, they are going to Carolina. Once again, home field doesn't matter. Arizona Cardinals are favored by 3.5. Now, this one is tough. This one's tough for me. This is one of those that I probably wouldn't bet if I you know, was betting here. You know, I'm not betting, right? No, but yeah, no, the Cardinals, like, they're tricky for me because some weeks they just have dud games. Like, I should easily want to say Cardinals beating the Panthers by the spread, easy, no problem. But I don't know here. I see this is a tricky one. And I like Teddy Bridgewater, man. He's accurate as hell. He never throws an interception, it seems like. And he's always like 7 for 7, 10 for 10, 12 for... He's like always completing shit. So it's like, and I love Robbie Anderson with DJ Moore. I'm a big fan of Robbie Anderson's play. Either one, Robbie Anderson or DJ Moore right now. Even maybe Curtis Samuel. I like a little bit, showing a little life. You know, if you could get him for real cheap in daily fantasy and stack the rest of your team, you might be all right with Curtis Samuel. But yeah, it's so what I'm gonna do here, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I would say this might be I'd pick Carolina here, because honestly I think Carolina could either win this game, surprisingly, like pull off an upset, or Carolina just loses by 3 and the Cardinals don't cover the spread. So, I mean, that's what I think the options kind of are here. I can see Arizona winning this by a late field goal and just winning by 3 and not covering. So, I would pick Carolina here if I had to pick. This is a tough one, though, one of those games I might stay away from because it's so unpredictable. Kyler could go off this week. As we saw, he had a down week last week, so I think he does bounce back, though. And against Carolina's corners are really young and inexperienced, and their D isn't that good, even though their D played great last week. So, you know, it's tough to say. Both teams are so unpredictable how they're going to play. Arizona's defense is sneaky good. You know, I didn't think they were going to be good at all. Arizona seemed to give up 1 million points last year. All of a sudden, Arizona's corners and their whole defense is fucking incredible. So, you know, and Carolina's defense is unpredictable. Usually they're bad, and then last week they have this incredible game. And, you know, even with Christian McCaffrey out, I like Mike Davis. That'd be my sleeper on the Panthers, besides Robbie Anderson and obviously DJ Moore. But Mike Davis, once again, he looked incredible last week against a great run defense, you know, and in the Chargers that I was scared to start. I picked up Mike Davis, scared to start him against the Chargers, supposed to have the stout run D, and Mike Davis ran all over him. So I like Mike Davis again. Arizona's a worse run D, so Mike Davis should go off. That's my sleeper for the Panthers. And Arizona, you know, it's obviously DeAndre Hopkins always. I mean, who else would it be, I guess, you know. But I love Andy Isabella for the Cardinals. That's one of my top sleepers of the week. Andy Isabella for the Cardinals. I like what he did last week, and I just think he continues that because, you know, Christian Kirk is still out, I believe it is, and there's really no one behind Hopkins. They need Andy Isabella to keep producing, basically as the number 2, and they can line him up on the outside. They can line him up in the slot. Like, he could do a lot of things. He's like that Julian Edelman type. Wes Welker, Julian Edelman, all the Patriots guys. Andy Isabella is like that. He's fast enough to beat people, but he goes through the middle. Andy Isabella is going to kind of blow up as their number 2 receiver here, so I really like Andy Isabella to be a great value pick in daily fantasy. Look for Andy Isabella on the Cardinals. That's my sneaky pick. Kenyon Drake for the Cardinals will obviously do well. Even maybe Chase Edmonds, their backup for PPR leagues. You know, if you got to plug someone in desperately, Chase Edmonds been scoring steady points. You know, even scores a touchdown every once in a while, but he catches balls all the time. He's usually there catching back. So, yeah, Chase Edmonds or Kenyon Drake will have a decent game, but I think it'll be about throwing because it's going to be a tight, close game. Andy Isabella is going to go off. Hopkins for the Cardinals. But I got Carolina with Mike Davis running all over the place, and DJ Moore, Robbie, all of them doing good. I got Carolina either winning outright or covering the spread by only losing by 3. So I go Carolina here in this matchup. All right, Jacksonville Jaguars at Cincinnati. Cincinnati is favored by 3 points. This one, I like Cincinnati to win and cover. I like them to beat Jacksonville by at least 7, if not 10 or 14. I love Joe Burrow. I'm a Joe Burrow fan right now, so I think Joe Burrow. If you have to plug in a QB, there's my sleeper right there. Plug in Joe Burrow. He's been playing great. He's just got to turn down the turnovers. But I love Joe Burrow. I think he's going to turn out to be what everyone thought Sam Darnold would be, like a great quarterback in the NFL. So I really like Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow will at least be Jared Goff, and Jared Goff got to the Super Bowl. So I love Joe Burrow. And I love them to really beat Minshew Magic in Jacksonville here, who really don't have much going on for Jacksonville. You know, it's James Robinson day because Cincinnati cannot stop the run. They've been getting gashed every week. I really like James Robinson to have a humongous week. James Robinson all the way because he'll catch balls and he'll run them. I would say that Laviska Shenault Jr. or whatever, I would say him for Jacksonville. He's like their pass-catching running back. They also use him as a wide receiver. He's actually listed as a wide receiver on most fantasy sites and things. But he screwed me over last week and didn't do jack shit. So, not going to give you any prop, Shenault. I'm leaving you out. It's just James Robinson. James Robinson, huge week. get him in daily fantasy. That's going to be one of my winners, big winners of the week. James Robinson have a big week, and if they get DJ Chark back, I think he'll have a big week too, because they desperately need him in the wide receiver corps, because I tried to play Keelan Cole and I got screwed there, so no one in Jacksonville wide receiver wise really. Trying to think if I'm missing anyone. No, not that I can think of. No one exciting. So yeah, if Chark gets back though, I like him to score some points, obviously, because Minshew's really got no one else to throw to. So yeah, big game for James Robinson, Joe Burrow. You know, I like Tyler Boyd always. T. Higgins for the Bengals. He's there like their number 2. I like him to have another big game. If you look, he's been quietly having big games, double-digit fantasy point games. So if you don't have T. Higgins yet, get him on your waiver wire while you still can. You know, it's a really cool last name. So who wouldn't want T. Higgins on their team? So yes, get T. Higgins for sure. You definitely want him, because I think he's going to be a steady producer at that number 2 spot behind Tyler Boyd. Like, well, maybe number 3. I think John Ross, though, is kind of out. AJ Green has been underproducing. So I'm just saying that's a deep sleeper for Cincinnati, T. Higgins. And Joe Mixon, please start doing something. That's all I'll say there. Just start doing something, please. Giovanni Bernard's doing more again. Please start doing something, Joe Mixon. But yes, Bengals win by easily 7 or 14 over the Jacksonville Jaguars. Bengals definitely cover the spread. Dallas and Cleveland. You know, this one, Dallas is favored by 4.5. You know, honestly, Dallas is so unpredictable. You would think they would dominate Cleveland, but Cleveland's low-key been playing well the last 2 games. Really been picking up their play and kind of being the team we expected them to be, the Super Bowl team or whatever. So, you know, I like Odell's coming alive. I like Odell in this game. I think this is going to be an extremely high-scoring game. So basically, I like Nick Chubb. I love Kareem Hunt for the Bengals. Kareem Hunt's been playing really well. If you're in a PPR league, definitely get Kareem Hunt. Yeah, so, you know, Cleveland, I just like anyone. Kareem Hunt, Chubb, probably both will score, and Odell will score once or twice. I mean, I think Cleveland will easily put up 28, because Dallas might put up 40. But I'm very tempted to say that Cleveland covers the spread. Like, Dallas may win, but also only by 3. This is a tough one. You know, I would bet this, because I'd also... Man, I feel tempted to say Dallas, you know, easily beats Cleveland, covers the 4.5 spread. But Dallas, you know, they're going to shoot themselves in the foot, and you know they're going to screw themselves over. It's just going to happen. It's guaranteed. So I would go, you know, here. That's a tough one. Like, Dallas will let your hopes down every time in the end. You know, they're an accident waiting to happen. So I'm going to do it and say Cleveland shocks the world here, and they either win the game or they only lose by 3. So I'm going to put that in, because I was a Baker fan coming out. I loved Baker's, you know, I don't give a fuck, I'm the man attitude and all that. Getting tackled by the police officer was hilarious. I don't know, I like Baker. He's not like he's douchebaggy, but not quite like what's his name was, the other Oklahoma QB, Johnny Manziel. He's not quite like him. He actually works hard and wants to be great at football, I believe. So I like Baker for that. I like someone who's strong and confident and talks shit, and because I admire that confidence. I want more of it. So I like Baker. I think Odell's picking it up. I mean, he clearly is. I don't think it. I see it. So what am I calling? Oh, okay. Yeah, so I like this to be a really high-scoring game, like 40 to fucking 37, another similar to Dallas and Atlanta. I think this will be really high-scoring, even though Cleveland's D is pretty solid, very solid, and Dallas's D ain't that bad. I don't know if they got the Vandersloot or their linebacker is back yet, But they got good Ds, but defenses, both of them, solid. You know, nothing great, but solid. But I still think it's going to be high scoring as hell. I mean, Dak Prescott's playing his ass off, so love me some CeeDee Lamb, obviously. I'm not as high. Michael Gallup always, he scored last week, so he always produces, but it's not as consistent. I like CeeDee Lamb or Amari on this game always. They seem more consistently going to get you points. But I like Ezekiel to have a big game here. I think I could see Elliott scoring at least a couple touchdowns here. Probably just 2, but not at least a couple, but maybe more. You never know. This could be a beast. I've been waiting for that beast, like huge 3-touchdown game, over 100 yards from Ezekiel. Maybe that's, I don't know why I get that feeling. I'm just feeling right now. Just going, I'm feeling. So that's my feeling right now. I'm going off of that Cleveland covers the spread. You know, either shocks everyone and wins. Would it be a shock? I don't know. But they shock everyone and win, or they don't, or they cover the spread and only lose by 3. And yeah, just start anyone on Cleveland's offense, especially Kareem, Chubb, Odell, even Jarvis Landry. I don't know how he's doing this year. I don't have him. Actually, how has Jarvis been doing? I think all right, but I had him in like 2 leagues last year and don't have him this year. So, but yeah, Austin Hooper's been disappointing for Cleveland. But Dallas, you know, they should win this, man, if they don't shoot themselves in the foot. Love CeeDee Lamb, so I mean, play the usuals for Dallas. CeeDee Lamb, and play Dalton Schultz. Love Dalton Schultz this week. That's a sleeper for Dallas right there. I just remembered it. Dalton Schultz. Play Dalton Schultz, the Dallas tight end. I don't want to say Dalton Schultz again, but yeah, play any of them. Amari, Ezekiel will have a big game. Dalton Schultz will have, you know, everyone. Freaking CD, Gallup, maybe someone's got a knot, and it'll probably be Gallup, but. Yeah, Cleveland's going to go crazy too. High scoring game. Both team offenses are going to go nuts, score a ton of points. So basically start anyone. Anyways, moving on. We got Minnesota at Houston. The Vikings at the Texans. The Texans are favored by 4.5. Usually I would say that's crazy, but it is. The Vikings are terrible this year. They're just a bad team. So I got Houston covering this. I'm gonna easily say it because I think Deshaun Watson's been hearing all the flack and all the negative energy and negative comments he's been getting, and he's hearing that. Deshaun's hearing that, and he played well. He played his ass off last week. You know, he did really well. Scored me like 24 points. I have him as my second QB in a 2 QB league. You know, Deshaun played really well last week because I think he has a lot of pride, a lot of talent. He's a great quarterback. He just doesn't have much to work with out there in terms of offensive weapons. But, you know, I think he's like, screw you guys. I'm going to show you guys I'm still that Michael Jordan of football. And he went out and balled. And I think he's going to do that here because Minnesota's defense is young and terrible, especially their corners. So Minnesota is going to get stomped here. I think Deshaun's going to get all his anger from the beginning of the season out and all the media shitting on him. He's going to just run all over Minnesota here. Deshaun Watson will have the biggest game on Houston. But I also think that Will Fuller is finally going to start taking off because, like I said, Minnesota has young corners, you know, that are unproven, untested, and I think Will Fuller will beat one of them at least for one long touchdown. He'll get his patented long touchdown. So Will Fuller will have a good game too. So pick anyone on Houston. I like David Johnson. Anyone really. David Johnson actually will probably have the biggest game because Houston's going to be so far ahead. At the end, they're going to have a lot of garbage time and give the ball to David Johnson a bunch. So I like David Johnson in this game too. I like all of Houston. Minnesota, I really don't have much to like there. I don't know. Dalvin Cook, obviously. Dalvin Cook's incredible. Just ran his ass off. Dalvin Cook is incredible. Let me take that back. Dalvin Cook's incredible on the Vikings. But besides that, man, I just don't see it. You wasted money on that quarterback there. What's he getting paid? Like $90 million a fucking year to like not even make the playoffs. No, they did good one year. But, you know, I just, Adam Thielen will probably have a touchdown or something, though, too. You know, the usual suspects for Minnesota. I did go out also and pick up that Josh Jefferson guy who went off for 175 and 2 touchdowns and all that. And obviously, he's not going to do that every week. And I'm nervous to play him, but I might play him here just because Minnesota's going to be down, I think. And so they're going to be forced to throw the ball. I can't even remember the fucking, what the hell's the quarterback's name from Minnesota? Kirk Cousins, that's his name, Kirk Cousins. I mean, he's going to have to throw the ball. They're going to be down like 2 touchdowns or 17, and he's going to have to start bombing. So I'd play Adam Thielen with confidence and Dalvin Cook, obviously. Neither of those two are sitting on your bench ever. So that's easy. That's not what you came here for, the easy decisions. I think play Jefferson this week. You know, yeah, he's not going to get 175 and 2 touchdowns again, but, you know, he'll do well because they got a lot of garbage time throwing to do. That's why David Johnson will do good on Houston. I think they'll have a lot of garbage time running to do. So expect Deshaun Watson to have a huge game. David Johnson, Will Fuller, huge games there, and Houston beats Minnesota easily by, I'm going to say 14 or 17 or something. Houston easily beats Minnesota, you know, but definitely play the Minnesota wide receivers, and Dalvin Cook's amazing, so yeah, you got that one.